My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the video game Until Dawn. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But look, if I'm talking video games, I like games like Last of Us, Uncharted, Arkham Asylum, Resident Evil, Silent Hill 2, Bioshock. Those are the type of games that appeal to me. The type of games I don't usually like are the games where the story is based on the choices you make. So I hated Heavy Rain. I hated Detroit Become Human. I actually really liked Beyond Two Souls, and I also really like Until Dawn. Still not my favorite type of game, but it's like a best case scenario. So let's begin by talking about the cast and characters. And I do want to mention that this bunch of characters are so sleazy and just a shitty group of friends. Like the opening prank aside, this friend group all just dates each other and cheats on each other, and just so many of these characters really suck. But Rami Malek as Josh is fantastic. He does feel like two completely different characters, but that's by design. This is a character that gets progressively more interesting, and by the end, he had a whole lot of depth that wasn't on display before. So I was really impressed with the writing of this character and Rami Malek's performance. But my favorite character is Megan Martin as Jessica. Not only is it like a good looking character design, but she's mostly kind and mostly sweet, and I just thought she was really funny. So it kind of bums me out she isn't in this game much. Then we get Brett Dalton as Mike, and he does do a really good job. I like how he is the strong character heel, but deep down, he really is a shitty person. So there's more to this character than you might think. Jordan Fisher as Matt does a good job. I like how at first he keeps to himself, but he does grow a spine as the story progresses. I wish he was in it a bit more. Nicole Secura as Emily was the worst character to me. She is just rude and bitchy and insufferable. And yes, she eventually becomes a badass, but by that point, my mind was already made up. Galadriel Steinman as Ashley is fine, but she doesn't really stand out too much. Noah Fleiss as Chris is kind of bland, but I don't know, I guess he's fine. And Hayden Panettiere as Sam I thought was a great character. She's charming and likable, and she rises to the occasion when needed. But how the hell did her towel stay on for as long as it did? Oh, and Peter Stormare does a really good job. I like how those psychiatrist sections look progressively worse and worse as the story moves along. That was a real nice touch. But look, now talking about the story, it's a bit of a mixed bag for me because I do think the opening is absolutely terrible. Like, this game just rushes into it immediately with no character introductions, no build up. So when the prank happens, it really has no weight behind it. I was just thinking to myself, who are these people? But look, if you know me, you know I love horror, so this game is filled with horror elements. There's a serial killer, there's Wendigos, there's saw traps, there's ghosts for a little bit, there's dolls in one scene, just a bunch of horror elements that I love. But the story kinda gets worse as it progresses because, first of all, it turns out the ghosts weren't real, which is just weird and doesn't really make any sense. But the bigger issue is that there's two distinct storylines. Josh's revenge prank and the Wendigo plot. And they don't really come together. The entire story feels like it's based on coincidences, and it does feel a little contrived. So, I still like everything this game is going for. I like the ambition of it, and it does have its moments. But as a narrative whole, it's lacking in a certain sense. Also, I want to say that the cabin they are staying in is the biggest cabin ever. It's like, what, 2 stories? And it's got like a basement and an underground tunnel system as well. Like, how did they not discover this in prior years? And then Mike and Jessica decide to stay at another cabin, which is like a half-hour hike away. So it seems weird that they're spending this weekend together, but some of the characters are so far away. Um, Another few issues I have with the writing is there was one scene where a window is destroyed by someone's cell phone, and one of the characters just doesn't react at all. It's annoying how very few people actually dress for the weather. Like, some of these characters would die of hypothermia. But one big issue I have is the amount of fake jump scares. I'm okay with jump scares, but there are so many moments here where there's these friends hanging out and someone's just like, boo! Just kidding, it's me, and it happens time and time again, and it's just annoying. And like I mentioned, this is a game where you have to choose which direction the story goes in, and in some ways, that's fun. There's a certain pressure to make the right choice, and you never know which choices will amount to something bigger or not. And I do like the butterfly effect icon that shows up whenever the story changes. But so many times when I'm playing this game, I will make a choice, and then something happens that I don't like, and I get pissed off that I didn't make another choice. And I get you're supposed to feel that way, but it can be frustrating. But the gameplay is still good enough, whether it's the choices or the quick time button events or exploring or the shooting. Like, it's fine enough. But I was still engaged. My favorite part of this game is actually the atmosphere. Like, I love the look and feel of this game. I do. It's wintry, it's windy, it's dark, and it just has this ominous feel throughout, and it just elevates each and every moment. And the location of this game is Alberta, Canada, which, fun fact, is where I live. So it's a little surreal to have cities like Edmonton and Calgary mentioned in this game. Just really cool for me. I do like the fixed camera angles. It can be a very great looking game. I think the graphics look great. I played the original version, by the way. The game sounds great. And some of the song choices are quite good. There's one song that Jessica plays time and time again, which adds some nice atmosphere to this game. And I like the Until Dawn original song in the end credits. And it does have its unnerving, effective moments. So yes, this game is a bit of a mess. It's not my favorite type of game, and the story does have issues, but it's also filled with so much horror material that I love, and the game can be effective. Some of the characters are really well written, and I liked what they brought to this game, and it's not a home run, but the atmosphere and so many other great aspects do elevate it. So I'm giving Until Dawn a 7 out of 10. Okay, have you played Until Dawn? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin out.